line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far.
And so, the time has come, race fans, to initiate what could very well be their toughest race of the season. The final chance to enter into the final round of 4 as these drivers of GOAT Racing League Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series now face the elusive threat and the challenge that lays ahead here at Texas Motor Speedway. Hello again, everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Shriver, joining you guys once again here as we are about to go live on the mile-and-a-half high banked ends at Texas Motor Speedway. Things could not be any tougher or be any more ramped up than this one, and you're about to find that out why in just a few short minutes. But first, let's take a look at our starting lineup today. On the pole, he'll pilot the number 62 and the machine on the number 4 Mustang. That'll be Brock Page. The outside of him in the Chevrolet Camaro, that'll be Michael Strickland, the striker in the 88. And the row number 2, it's going to be the 60 of John Hickman Jr. The outside of them in the 47, it is Joseph Gravala. And row number 3 is going to be John Hammond, the 13. The outside in the number 93, it is Bud Shearer. Row number 4 is the Action Man, Aaron Action Jackson. In the 12, the outside in the 35, it is Chad Goldman. Row number 5 is Nathan Bogard. The 5, the outside in the 77, it will be Michael Caffery. At row number 6, it'll be Bobby Westell. The 90 outside in the 24, that is Cody Sturgill. Row number 7 is Maurice Burnett. The 8, the outside in the 76, it's Mark Rodigan. Row number 8 is going to be piloted by the 3 of Keith Prince. The outside in the number 98, it is Christoph All. Row number 9 is Ron Holyfield in 26. The outside in the 23, it's Charles Van Schaik. Row 10 is Philip Schmitz in the 29 with the 95 of Sean Burke on the outside. And finally, row 11, that will be the number 39 of Kevin England with the 33 of John Soliano, I should say. Field is now bringing it to the stage. Stage number 1 is about to begin. You want to talk about wild moments throughout the season? We've had a bunch of them and some even crazier moments throughout, but for this race in particular, there is going to be nothing left on the table. Nobody is safe. Only the top 8 will be cut to 4 in the round of the playoffs. This is their final round of 8. Next week, we will see the season championship come their way as we will then roll into January for the next season. But this one will mean just as much for them as anything before then. So here's how it looks today for your track tech talk here, race fans. Then your info here on the show. 1.5 in length, high banks, high ends. Watch for the drivers in turn 1 and 2, though, to aim closer to that bottom lane. Kind of stretch it out into the turns and really nail their hot spots and aim for their targets. Going to make things a lot more difficult for those trying to run more of the middle ground. But 3 and 4 will be more of a test to their strength and their speeds, as they'll have a little bit of that bottom lane and middle groove to use. But controlling those exits is the main game plan here at Texas Motor Speedway. Race fans, here we go. Set them off. Round of 8 begins their final race before the round of 4. This is their last chance to become a champion. Here we go. Kevin England not getting out to a good start there. He's going to already be in the wall protections. We're going to line them down through the first set of turns. Stage laps will be at 50 for stage 1. Stage 2 will be lap 105. From there, 62 laps to the distance. This being race number 2 of their round of 8, that definitely makes things a little bit more harder on them and also a little bit more tricky to figure out when and where to make their moves and make their targets. But you can already see some drivers trying to get out of the drafts early, trying to watch the corner offs and the exits as fast as possible here. Take a look at as well at our round of 8 drivers. Michael Strickland leads the charge with 1 playoff win. He's pretty much all but locked in. Just needs to stay out of trouble with the 27 points ahead he's got in right now. Joseph Graval looking very good to do the same as we got his camera on him right now. He's 14 spots up in the points section. 11 points for Bud Shearer. He's also looking to be in variable contention, but needs a good finish here. Needs to be at least in the top 10, maybe a top 5 would definitely lock him in no matter what anyone else does. But then comes to the fun part. You got Charles Van Schaik with only 1 point ahead of Cameron DeRue. Aaron Action Jackson at only -2 as we go 3 wide off into the conclusion. Down through the turns, Mark Rodigan going to make a move off on the number 8 of Maurice Burnett, while you see back low the 9. That was piloted by Bobby Westell, as actually he is supposed to be in the 90, but he decided to get the 9. Troubles for Rodigan as he drove it way too hard off. He'll go straight to the back and into the wall protection. As I was saying, though, Aaron Jackson, Cameron DeRue just shy of being off the cut line for Charles Van Schaik. A good finish over him today will lock him in. Nathan Bogart, 22 points out, and Cody Sturgill, 24 points out. That is how we're looking right now in this race. For Bogart and Sturgill, there is no doubt in my mind what they've got to do. Must win. That's something they have not been able to do all season long, though. That's going to be a true testament to their talents and their strengths here. And Texas Motor Speedway is not going to give them any breaks either. As a matter of fact, this place will be probably their worst nightmare if they can't get things figured out sooner rather than later. We talk about how difficult Texas Motor Speedway is and its treachery inside of those flat banking exits and those tough corner offs. Its sister track, Charlotte Motor Speedway, kind of makes it for an interesting little layout and lookout in terms of what we built and what kind of scope was laid down for this laying of the racetracks. But again, that really, to me, the biggest issue I think they're going to really face again is just passing. If they don't get a good jump out of the gate, it becomes so difficult just to pass later on. As you can see, even on right now, a lot of drivers are kind of pushing some leg up and trying to push some speeds into the turns. More than I think most are really giving them credit for, really understanding here. Maurice Burnett, the Caterpillar number 8 here, looking straight to the inside of Joseph Gravala here. Can't quite make a pass off. Gravala, for his case here, he knows he cannot let drivers pick him off or take him down any notches today. He's got to stay in control of his own destiny and of his own positioning. But Brock Page right now in that 62 RBS Ford Mustang, man, he is fast as can be. He's already 2 seconds ahead of Michael the Striker Strickland. And I'm not sure how much tire wear he might be facing up on that car, or even the 60 of John Hickman Jr., but both guys right now absolutely laying it in and really bringing the speed up to good use and up to good stuff here. I'm pretty impressed by this right now. But that doesn't mean for 1 second things can't change on a dime and turn on them as quick as they got ahead of it. Speaking of Agravalo right now, dealing with company right below and around him here. Christoph Hall in the number 98 here, out of the playoffs already here. He had a great showing there back in the Truck Series, though, in the playoffs as well. Made it to the round of 8, but did not get into the final round of 4. Unfortunately, was cut out from that end, and now he is looking to try and make up for it by simply just being the spoiler alert for everybody around here in this race today. And to clarify as well, race fans, here we have in the round of 4 for the Truck Series, if you didn't see our Facebook post already, Aaron Smith, Aaron Jackson, Charles Van Schaik, and Bud Shearer. They will go to the final round of 4 next Tuesday night, so be sure to tune in and catch all the actions that go on down there. It should be a wild one as we get ready for it. Up right ahead of the field here, right back into the zones here. We got a good battle going off here between the number 5 and Nathan Bogart and Chad Coleman. At 35, Coleman, he's no slouch to upsets and pulling off some incredible runs. Remember, Coleman was the guy last time out who took the limit and took it to the paces at Pocono Raceway. And coming out of it with the win. But since then, he's been pretty much kind of on his tails and on his heels, just trying to make sure he can kind of duplicate his speed and momentum as the caution flies out here. I do not know where the caution came for. There's our first caution of the day, though, and it doesn't look like any cars were taken out, no wrecks or anything like that. I'm going to presume maybe Kevin England has something to do with it. Well, let's take a look at the PTMS replay. I'm not really sure, though, where things went wrong here. Was not Kevin England in this case here. Believe me, guys, I look. There was no debris, nothing. I just believe we're just going to call this kind of a ghost caution. It happens sometimes. Sometimes iRacing will kind of catch a caution where it really probably shouldn't have been. Hey, if NASCAR ain't perfect, then iRacing can't be perfect, alright? That's what I'm going to say. Either way, though, usually what happens, though, to be clairvoyant here, usually what happens when you do see a caution that we can't catch, it's because one of the drivers may have gotten tagged and it was halfway loose, but they managed to save it. But however, somebody had got underneath them, and due to the slowdown of the problem there, that in turn called iRacing to get the caution out because of that. Coming around the park cell right now, Brock Page with that early advantage there. Got a great jump on everybody and really got a start on all the drivers. I think that we're not expecting that. 62 Page has not been as the favorite or as the guy a lot of people kept their eye on, but today it seems like he's out to change that up really quickly. Got a great start there and a great power off to the corners. We'll see if he can continue that and continue that momentum up. Haven't heard from Joe Gravalla here. Usually he's hanging around here somewhere. But I can't say Joseph Gravalla has made some noise and made some charges into the field so far anyway. So let's see if he can keep that up. For those that are tuned in with us right now live on Pizza Race TV Facebook Live, we really appreciate you guys tuning on in. Also, if you have not already, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head over to our YouTube, subscribe there, and also check out our Twitter and Instagram handles. For those that always tune in, we do appreciate the support as well. I know there's like 2 or 3 of you, including some of my family members, that have always tuned in to every broadcast I do, and really deep down the bottom of our hearts here, we always love it and we appreciate it so much. Really does mean a lot, and it just shows the community and everything that we've got going on, not only with iRacing but with other drivers and folks outside of iRacing that maybe don't even know anything about this esports or know anything that goes on with these drivers and these leagues and teams. Truly just shows you everything is connected in racing. All right, race fans, we're going to bring him down off of turn number 3 into turn number 4 here. Sean Burke, the 95, will be in 18 spots right now. Wait a minute, how did he get 18 spots up here? He must not have gotten in the pit row. That's the only thing I can think of. No, he did not. So Brock Page and him will be working their way to the field here, getting ready back up. We'll see how they handle on burnt tires. We go back to the green. Well, Page had no trouble, but Burke maybe not so much. Didn't get the jump off the line I think he was expecting. Got a little bit stuck under the gas pedal and got trapped under the spin of the tires there. That allowed Strickland to kind of sneak his way up into the middle, but right behind him, Bud Shearer, the other RBS driver, is right now looking to not only secure his place into the final round, but he's also maybe looking to put one up on the 88 of the Mountain Dew Chevrolet Camaro driver, Michael Strickland. You got to be thinking in the back of your mind, too, if you're Bud Shearer, like Strickland has gotten the better of you and also has a playoff win already this season, whereas he does not, but yet someone so close, it's so far so many times. I would think in the back of my mind, the only thing I'd be worried about is trying to make or break this season and really tell my own tale. Well, Shearer actually does have a few wins in the season and a playoff win, I should say, but I'm talking round of 8 wise. He does not, whereas Strickland does. Just for clarification there. Shearer, though, 4 spots up right now, taking the early advantage here. Trouble down in the back half of the field there. You see right, look below, that was Cody Sturgill in the back Tracker Boats, Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, Camaro. The Camaro right now currently looking to be a favorite in the mid-pack in the top 10, but the Fords, thanks to the RBS crew, dominating here so far. And I think it's kind of fun to know, too, the Fords have been very successful here at Texas Motor Speedway as of previous times and previous races. We've seen that with the likes of Ryan Blaney and the real world taking his Penske team up to the front and leading it out there. We've even seen Joey Logano have some success here in the Ford camp. Of course, Chevys, though, the previous years have been more or less the guys to watch out for and try to take on. And the Toyotas as well, they have speed here and they can get momentum underneath their hood. But the problem is there is absolutely no Toyotas on the track today. There's only Fords and Chevys. And between the split, I'd say there's a few more Chevys than there are Fords. Not by many. I think maybe like 2 or 3 more at most. But it's nearly half and half. So, I mean, really it just kind of depends on your personal preference. To me personally, the Fords have a slight advantage with the teams they involved in, while also the ideals of really what's going to go down here on this track, which is you got to find your openings and find your rhythm and moves to pass. Little to no times when you get that opportunity unless you take it from them. And the Gillette 98 of Christoph Hall knows that all too well, as he currently deals with the pressure by John Hickman Jr. Coming oh so close to just getting that bumper on him, and he does get a little bit of a bumper off him there, but you see Christoph Hall actually able to keep the car in motion. Hold on though, there's trouble down there. Bogart, he's opened up his own lawn care service. It's not the time of the year for that, Bogart. And the 5 right now, his chances of being in the playoffs, Final Four, may have just dwindled even more than I think he was expecting it to be. Here's our look at it with the P10 instant replay. They're still under green, by the way. No caution thrown yet. Came off, down off of turn number 4. You can see he just ripped it right through. Had no control over where that Nation's Guard machine, the National Guard 5, was going until too little too late. And he is now heading for pit road, probably to clean some damage off and get some grass out of that car. My, what a troublesome slot and a pit position to really throw yourself in. Oh, and speaking of troublesome positions to throw you in, huge hit off of turn number 3. That was a 13 of John Hammond as the 29 of Philip Schmitz comes to a dead stop. He has wrecked the 29 completely out, left rear locked on the 29. We've got a caution. John Hammond and Philip Schmitz involved in that one as we're coming right back to the live feed here. Hammond, major damage to that right front. That's not looking good at all. He's not going to be able to get that thing repaired without an instant repair. Luckily for him, he's got one at his disposal. But what happened exactly here? We're going to take a look at the P10 instant replay. And what you're about to see is not by our own undoing. That was a 4 wide salute going from turn 2 into the turn 3. A 3 wide off. And the 60 gets clapped in there. The 13 of John Hammond smashes the wall protection. Smits had no idea where he was going and really no idea what was going to happen next until too little too late. And that's really kind of the story that evolved around this. We'll take another look at it from the blimp cam. Look at this. Corner off, 3 deep, almost 4 deep in. And the 60 just brings him slightly at him and tries to back down. Maurice Burnett gets clipped in there. Schmitz's left rear, you can see it's completely locked up. He tries to get back on the gas, but he is locked. The tires are locked up. He can't get it going. Spinning it out in front of the track there, in front of those guys. That would immediately call for the caution. I'm honestly kind of surprised that the caution did not get called until a little later on. The iRacing officials, a little bit lenient there, but at the same time, I think they're keeping a close eye on everything else going on. There's a lot that happens in this, so you got to really be careful about that. Michael Caffrey, the 77, the only one out of Australia, going to take it out and about. He's going to keep it on the track. Doesn't want to leave for pit road yet. Brock Page and Bud Shearer right now, currently the drivers to watch out for. They have been dominating this one as Chad Coleman will bring his Ford out in the field. Now he's in the 3rd spot. Looks like just fuel for some drivers and some tires for others. As Michael Caffrey is going to take the lead away though. The number 77 Pennzoil machine is going to now branch this thing out and see about taking it further into the depths. Field gonna position patrol down around the track. This looks to be an interesting scenario to be thrown right back at them here. The question though remains, in my opinion, how long do tires last and how long can the drivers last before they just get a little bit more intense and really try to push their legs up. We saw earlier what happens when you get a little too aggressive and you get a little too clairvoyant. Get stuck in that middle pack and then stuck in a 3 wide or a 4 wide, and then from there it's like, well, what do you do from there? Here we go now. We're going to get back to the green flag, and we are off and running once more here at Texas. Michael Caffrey taking a great jump out of the gate. Brock Page, this is the first time we're going to have to see him go on offense here. While playing a little bit of defense against Michael Strickland, though, it's the striker looking down low. But Brock able to hang it down. Bud Shearer right now steep into the outside line, snaps his way back. He's got the Pennzoil 35, Chad Goldman, last week's feature winner. Trying to play a little bit of spoiler yet again and not let any of the top 8 try to win this race out to advance their championship stakes. Remember, Strickland is already locked in. He does not need to worry about this race. He just needs to stay focused on staying out of trouble. Really, that's the main thing he needs to do. As soon as he showed up, as long as he just stays in the top 20, top 15, he'll be okay. Anything less, though, and let's just say it could be a bad night for him. Bobby Westell, the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, trying to keep the other Chevrolet driver of the 24, Cody Sturgill, in the Bass Pro Shots machine way back below of him. Every driver for themselves here currently as the field starts to maneuver the chains and keep the speed alive. It's interesting to hear that shift into. You hear a lot of drivers do that with these 5-gear cars. Remember, with that 5th gear, they actually have instead of using sequentials, instead of using H patterns, they're using sequentials. Sequential shifters are a lot different and a little bit more tricky to figure out if you're not used to them. So for those that don't know, sequential shifters are more prominently known for road course cars, and I actually have one right now. Actually, I've been working with and I've been using, and an H pattern to it as well. Thanks to the guys at Fantech for helping me out with that. But actually, what it is when you use a sequential, you shift in by simply just throttling up or down, depending on how the car is. For me, I shift up to get the car to shift into the next gear. You shift down to the back gear before that. You have to go down on it as well. It's got problem down for Michael Strickland. 3 wide off the saloon in the back stretch. The striker making a big error there. Not something you usually see from the 88, but again, Texas has been known to make things a lot more difficult than you may realize. Bud Shearer right now making a crossover on the outside to try to take over that position. But as I was saying, instead of being able to switch between literally first and third in a matter of a second, you actually now get stuck between having to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depending on what gear you're in, you either have to go from third to fourth, or you go back from third to second. You can't switch between the other gears as quickly as that. So sequential shifters and shifting is a very different animal and a very different beast to figure out. But once you do, it's pretty easy to kind of get used to. But problem is, on ovals, it's a little bit more interesting than you may think. Road course wise, they're a staple, but yeah, oval cars is a completely different story. Coming back off around out 3 deep. Again, we go through the motions. Sturgill and literally getting ahead of Christoph Hall. As Bud Shearer and Bobby Westell have a little bit of a tussle down in the corners. But Westell, you can see, soon he drove up that outside just a little bit. He just lost all that momentum there. There's just no grip on that outside. You literally got to get that bottom lane to strip up, and you got to get to work around. Otherwise, you got nothing for them there. That's the problem, and that's going to be their struggle. They're going to face all day long is how much can you really push and give before it's just too little too late. I think that's kind of been the biggest issue and the biggest flaw we've seen, really, that these drivers are going to have to suffer through and have to deal with, just in terms of overall scope and speed and maneuvering. Speaking of scope and maneuvering as well, Charles Van Schaik, man, this is almost a must win for him now, because he is far beyond anybody's limits, and he is currently the only one that can take down Cameron Deere and Aaron Jackson to claim his spot to go for the title. He's currently on the cutoff line by 1 point. If he goes below that, which is only just a few positions for Deere or Jackson, it's game over. Or a Bogart if Sturgill will win this one out, he'll immediately be knocked out of that contention, because there's no way he'd be able to get ahead in time for the rest of the field unless something major happens down there for Aaron Jackson, though. This is exactly where he needs to be, as he's currently in a hot fight with Christoph Hall. Yeah, Hall's not giving him any room down there. Oh, he's really not giving him any room down there. Jackson, watch out. He's in the grass. Trying to hold it. Can he save it? No, he can't save it. It's in the wall. The 12 wrecks it out, and the caution flies. Bogart, watch out. Oh, my, that was close. And more troubles come their way. Aaron Jackson takes a bit of a bump there off of corner number 4. Let's take a look at the initiated sequence. So here's what happened. Came off turn number 2. I don't know. I don't think Christoph Hall got the 12 there. It looked like Jackson managed to avoid him. But then here's what happens here coming off of turn 4. Jackson raises up a little bit, catches him in the corner. Tries to steer it off, tries to save it. Gets a little bit of that wall though, smacks it. He's on the brakes. He's trying to get that car to stop, but it's too little, too late. And nearly gets clipped up by one of his round of 8 companions there as well, and Nathan Bogart. Jack Ullman's going to go into pit road. We're not at the end of the stage yet, by the way, race fans. We're still not quite done there yet. We'll have about 9 laps next time by as we come off the line here before a stage ends. Stage 1 ends at lap 50. Whenever the pace car decides to turn the yellow lights off, though, will be when everyone gets fielded back into position. Aaron Jackson going to get it out of the track here and back out on the surface. I believe he's still got damage. Yes, he does. Right side of his car is slightly damaged, and his championship hopes are looking to have been damaged up with it. He cannot make any more mistakes if he wants any chance at this now. Theo going to be paced back around here. Everyone going to get kind of cleared out on the track to see what goes down. Theo going to bring her way around down off of turn number 3 and 4. We've got 7 laps remaining here in stage 1. Somebody is going to have to take control of this one. Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series round of 8 continues through stage 1, nearing its end. Uh-oh, looks like some smoke coming out of one of the cars over there. I don't know who that might be. Major problem. Someone is smoking up. Wait a minute, there's trouble again! And Jackson cleared out of the house! Problems for the 12 off of turn 2. And while I know he was trying to avoid using the instant era, but I think now he's coming one step closer to having to use it. He is getting absolutely tortured out there, to say the least here, and I don't know where the smoke came from. Somebody was smoking up something up there, and it looks like actually it was the 88 of Michael Strickland. We'll take another look at it. Here's what happened here. He gets clipped here by the 62 of Sean Burke, catches him off guard, and then that's where everything else just went completely chaotic. John Hammond stuck on the top. Jackson trapped, slams into Coleman, last week's feature winner, and Coleman definitely damaged on that 35. But the round of 8 playoff driver, Aaron Jackson, his championship hopes are slipping away the more he gets involved in these wrecks. And I don't think for one second this was exactly what he had in mind or what he intended to see. On more look at it. What absolute intrepidence and chaos we have seen so far in this race. Unprecedented to say the least here, race fans. Well, you gotta be thinking in the back of your head now. You pretty much have found yourself trapped in every spot, every hit, every move, just trying to get to the championship. And a track like this being literally the last race before the cutoff, I'd have to think that just brings out even more pressure than ever before, and it certainly levels out the top playing fields and the toughest guys for it. I believe the way we're looking at it right now, I don't know if they're going to have time to get the next spot at chancing out for a stage end. So I think the stage may have already kind of come to an end when the next time they go around. I don't want to see, though, what the officials will call it. If that is the case, then Bud Shearer will get some stage points for his trouble. Charles Van Schaik also will get a little bit of stage points helped his way and helped out on his end, which certainly I gotta believe helps out his cause and his chances. But for the rest of them, definitely not gonna be an easy challenge here. Crazy to think Michael Caffrey really had a strategy that played out under his own ways. And it looks like they're gonna get a green-white checker out of it for the stage. So here we go, gonna pocket them off right off of turn number 4, back to the restart zone. 2 laps left for stage number 1. And Caffrey left nothing on the table. But sure though, he needs more than just a little bit of that. He needs to finish in a high spot. He's looking to catch Caffrey here. Gotta bring him back down off of the back straightaway. The 93 looking solid. He's got a chance here. Caffrey's giving him room. He's giving him plenty of room, but sure, not able to capitalize just yet. Back to the field now, into the march of the zone. Single filed out through the distance. Here we go now. Down through turn number 2. Shearer looking like he might have got himself legged up and trapped in a spot here. Christoph Hall troubles down there, and that ends at stage 1 is now complete. And Michael Caffrey is going to be your stage winner here, but unfortunately for the number 98, for Christoph Hall, the Gillette machine finds itself once again in the midst of issues. Another look at it here. Looked like he got trapped completely out in that spot. I don't even know what was going on there. Everybody trying to avoid it. Oh, Aaron Jackson there in the corner. Look out. There's more problems there. And Jackson, I don't know how much more damage he suffered, but he gets into another driver there. That's what happened to Christoph Hall. Let's take a look at what happened to Jackson here. Looks like yet again he just found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he's starting to be well aware this is not looking good for his takes. Avoids the 98, and then he gets trapped up there, gets clipped up by Rodigan, and Rodigan smacks it right in front of him. And see a little bit of a bend in there as he was trying to get out of that mess. Bobby Westell, the 90, will stay out. Caffrey, though, going to go into pit road. The rest of them as well. I don't blame him here. Strategy is going to be very tight here. They've really got to stay focused here. Looks like all 4 tires for everybody that went into pit road. Fuel going to be exceptionally occasion here. Ooh, John Hemming Jr. is going to get out first, though. Looks like he opts for only fuel. John Hammond joins him out there. Right side's only for the Hammonator. Wait a minute, I just called John Hammond the Hammonator. I'm so sorry, Hammond. Anyway, Hammond gonna go 3rd, 4th, Shearer, Gravala 5th out of your top 5. Westell stayed on out. Caffrey will move back down to the 6th spot here, but a good showing from him in stage number 1 on the last legs of that to hang on. Stage points will belong to him, but Shearer getting some much needed stage points to help out his cause and his chance. His candidacy to try to make or break this season definitely looking good. We have double filed everybody back into position. That's now the drive to maneuver through and to maneuver off into the corners of this of Texmore Speedway. Now going to be coming to full reality here once again. 5th caution of the day. We've only been able to go 10 laps in before a caution flies out. I'm starting to wonder if this is really Indianapolis Motor Speedway's race they had a long time ago, where they had only like 10 laps in terms of racing with a tire issue. But they consider that the worst NASCAR race of all time. I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but that's not actually the worst one. I believe is the very first race at Talladega Super Speedway. And you're probably wondering, how could I ever dare put Talladega in the worst race category? And I'll answer that with this. Look it up on YouTube, called Slap Shoes in the worst race of NASCAR. Or NASCAR's worst race ever. Literally, put it simply, tire wars are not a good thing. Only three competitive cars and a bunch of lower series cars racing with them. Yeah, you wouldn't expect anything good out of it. Anyway, let's get back to the green here. We're gonna bring it back down to the front straightaway. We're back off and running. Now, stage one may have been tough, but I'm not going to insinuate for 1 second they're going to have that same issue here. I think once they start dialing it in, they start getting some green flag laps underneath their collars here. I think they may be okay. As I say that, they go 3 wide, nearly 4 wide off down on turn 2. With Brock Page is wasting little to no time getting out of traffic. He is not having it with anybody today. Cody Sturgill in 24 also not having anything with anyone either. He sees what's up ahead. He knows his championship hopes is on the line. Now, him I can't blame, but the guys like Brock Page and them, I'm kind of wondering why are they trying to run as hard as they are right now? And even Strickland got a question that. He gives him a bump and run there. Ruffles his feathers up a little bit. Speaking of ruffled feathers up, Gaffrey strapped in 4 wide down on the bottom. He comes out clean. As the whole field right now, I don't even know how the heck they got out of that one so quickly. They cleared it up and got out of the mess rather easily. Joseph Gravalla stays in control of his top 5 category. Remember, he needs to be there, and he needs to be in that or in the top 10 to have all the points he needs to enter into the final round of 4. Little bump off there from John Hammond, the 13, giving a little bit of momentum as they clear it up. Look down up top, look out the 9. Bobby West still losing his momentum. We've got a new leader. Bud Shear in the 93 is now the leader with the RBS crew. But right behind him is a guy that doesn't just need stage points. He needs to win this. Cody Sturgill looking to catch Shearer and try to mount his charge to make it to the finals. Charles Van Schaik right now knows this is a bad omen for him because he knows Aaron Jackson's ahead of him too. But also, the other guy, Cameron DeRue, not here today. So he has to worry more about the troubles he's going to face with the likes of Aaron Jackson. But Christoph, yet again, trouble, slams it off the front straightaway. And the caution doesn't come out. There's no caution yet. Christoph Hall has come to a stop, and now he's refired the engine, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened there or what went wrong. Strickland, what on earth is going on with Michael Strickland? He takes the 62 out completely. The field has wrecked it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's enough to park Strickland for the night, but something is not going very kindly in Strickland's mind. And I think that may be due to the fact he thinks he may have been ruffled up a bit too much and may have had enough of some of the folks behind him or in front of him. We're about to take a look at the replay here. And this right here just encapsulates what is going on right now in terms of this playoff format, as well as what is going on with these drivers' mentalities. Strickland, there's no doubt in my mind, he punched him there, and then he pushed him again. And Brock Page, I'm almost willing to bet he turned it dead right in some regards, or he had lost control. We'll take a look at his onboard camera, but whatever the case may be, playoff drivers involved in this, and some other guys right now, I think probably receiving the worst end of it. That may be a little bit undeserving of it. Sean Burke got trapped in that wreck as well, and he's a teammate to the guy that just got taken out. Let's take a look at the replay. Here's Strickland, gets pumped right there. You can hear it pumping in the back. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that. My call, he turned it dead right. But again, I don't know if he didn't have full control of the car, that's the other point I'm going to bring up. Did he have full control of the car? Remember, these cars are rear-end driving. You don't have very much in the way of force feedback on the front of your nose. Mainly you're feeling it in the back. So that in turn makes it a lot more difficult and a lot more tricky to deal with, but that's a hard call. Daniel Holloway saying, how's it going in the booth? Daniel, doing all right, man. Great to see you back out here, but I don't know if you saw what I saw, but in the booth-wise, definitely getting a little bit interesting around here, buddy. Joseph Gergal, the 47, has parked it down on the back half. Looks like he's going to the back of the field here. Not sure what the reasoning is. Michael Strickland, the striker, is back out on the track, and the guy that's in front of him is now on the lead lap, and he is not. Now, again, Strickland did not need to win this race or really have a high points. He's already pretty much locked in for the final round, just based off of points and everything and how many drivers we have on control today. But something not agreeing with Strickland's mindset, nor is Page agreeing with him. But unfortunately, in that turn, he did cost a teammate a hit there. And Sean Burke getting involved in that, I think, may have all but kind of knocked out the 95 camp. The RBS crew is relaxed out. Christoph Hall going on his cam here. I also heard him also say he wasn't too thrilled that he got kind of in a bad spot and he did not have any cautions out for him. But whatever the case may be, man, this has been an absolute wild, wild race. And the fact that we got literally one more race to go still. Who the heck knows what happens next? Field is going to square themselves back up and get ready to bring it back down to the house here, race fans. I am not, for the life of me, going to even try to speculate who has got the advantage and who is looking to be the best to finish this one out, because at this point, I don't even know. It's impossible to tell. It seems like if you get a jump out of the gate or get a little bit of a run going, chaos comes out and ensues. And she brings with her all her means of torture and everything with it. But sure, if he wins this race, he's all but locked in. Cody Sturgill will be for sure out. Aaron Jackson, though, right now where he's at, he's in good contention. But remember, he's also been literally caught up in everybody else's mess or been trapped in between there without consequence and without say. He's looking to stay out of it this time. On back down to the restart zone we go. Back up and running here. We're starting to back up. Let's see what happens from here. We have still got over 100 laps remaining. Shearer wasting no time, and Brock Page yet again, he wastes little to no time. I'm starting to wonder though, is it because of the fact that Brock is an RBS driver that he's being so aggressive trying to get up there with his teammate in the 93 of Bud Shearer to help it from a guy like Cody Sturgill is that the reasoning why some drivers are not agreeing with him and not really agreeing with what's going on? Or is Brock Page kind of going to business for himself and he wants to win this one out? Either way, these guys are being pushed to their limits and are going to be pushed far beyond what I believe any of them were expecting to do today. Lap 105 is our stage 2 here, so tells you all you really need to know. Cody Sturgill right now currently leading the field out. Brock Page trying to get around him. Sturgill knows hopes are on the line. Gets it loose off of 4. Page to the outside. He's looking for the pass. But Sturgill, smartly done. Wise of beyond his years. Takes it back to the bottom. Doesn't let him get through. But Page, he knows how to cross thread. He goes through the loop, crosses him over, down to the inside. Page trying to hold on. And Sturgill has all but lost his lead. A new leader, Brock Page, as Bud Shearer now starts to come through and maintain the grip, maintain the balance. This is do or die time for any of these drivers here in that top spot here. Aaron Jackson yet again, he's getting bolstered up and getting kind of thrown to the wolves as the field continues to march their way around him. The 12 of Aaron Jackson sent up from John Hammond. Hammond this season, I mean, I don't really want to say has been a part of some crazy races, but he has been a fair share of some wild moments. Kind of hard to really tell you guys anything less or anything more about it. It's just been kind of one of those seasons for him and the other rest of the crew here as well. Packing him down the back straightaway here. Maurice Burnett, the 8 Caterpillar machine, going to drop it down low on the 35 of Chad Coleman in the Pennzoil Safe Auto machine. Can't quite get the AutoZone, excuse me. 35 can't quite get him back around him. Coleman strapped down hard, trying to hold in line. Ron Holyfield laying down the law here as he's got the gun permitted machine looking to try to control off. Well, we are in Texas after all, so I mean, you gotta have a little bit of that fun with it. Up ahead right now, Bud Shearer sent back around again. Cody Sturgill still trying to fight off Brock Page back yet once more. Hammond kind of intervening as well. Big battle here for the lead. And Hammond seemingly with little to no regard for anything other than just trying to take the win over. He has taken control of this race. Hammond deep inside in the Chokermobile, playing a trick, trying to choke the life out of the 60. Oh, almost gets himself in trouble again. Oh my, he almost lost completely in the turn there. He gets into it, Brock Page. Great save by Hammond and good driving by everybody else, but my word. Can you consider that any less chaotic than that? Good Lord. Hammond somehow hanged on. But he lost a lot of positions for his trouble. Cody Sturgill right now probably in desperation mode. Just trying to find some kind of momentum, some kind of kick up here as we go on to his helmet cam here. Brock Page is not going to let him breathe or let him think about it. He's going to keep forcing him in a very tough spot here, a tough predicament. Page slightly the advantage on his corner. Sturgill needs to get the lead, and then he needs to secure a good spot from pit road. If he does not get everything put together here, especially in that final stage, I guarantee you his championship hopes is done and over with. Charles Van Schaik, someone we haven't talked about all day long really. The Wheaties 23. Currently looking to be completely cut from the bubble as Aaron Jackson has kind of all but taken him over. Without Cameron DeRue tonight, able to make the call. He all but kind of lost out on his chances to make it into that final round. Wherever Cameron DeRue is, we do hope for the best for you, buddy, and we hope you're doing okay out there. Certainly do miss our fellow drivers coming out to race here. John Hagman Jr. in the number 60 Vectrex machine. Trying to keep the Victrix up ahead of Joseph Gravala. As Gravala right now still in a comfortable spot. Nathan Bogart a lap down though. I don't think he's really going to have to worry too much about him here. I think he's more just going to worry about himself in this case. Okay, focus on the rest of it. John Hagman Jr. earlier on had a great run for the top spots there. Was holding off for second. Almost had the lead a few times there as well when he was going out with Brock Page. But since then, things kind of slowed down a bit. We're going to take a bit of a back seat to the chaos that has been this race. Sturgill once again now trapped up from the top side. But sure, trying to keep his RBS team and dreams, hopes alive. And Hammond making it a little bit more difficult too for him. Oh, but he made it a little bit more than just that. They wreck it off of turn number 2. John Hammond once again collides it in, and Cody Sturgill right now, I gotta believe, is not a fan or a happy camper with Hammond. Catches him right off of turn number 2, and both drivers colliding in for a massive pileup. Oh my goodness, race fans. Oh my goodness. What on earth are we watching right now? What are we witnessing? Hammond catches Sturgill. Sturgill loses control here. Hammond backs back into the wall, and then the wreck ensues. Sturgill trying to stop the car before getting any more damage. Knew there was drivers trying to get around, trying to make sure they could see him. Hammond though trying to refire quickly. And if we take a look at the instant replay from the blimp cam as well, you're going to see very clearly what the 13 was kind of eyeing here. Actually, it looked like Sturgill got loose off turn number 2, so I got to actually apologize to Hammond. Sturgill actually got loose as he was coming around that corner, and Hammond actually was just trying to avoid him. So I got to throw an apology right now to Sturgill and Hammond. I think Sturgill, though, probably still is not a happy camper at himself, but not in Hammond's case, but not at Hammond in this case. I guess I should probably look before I say anything else. I think that if that was something all us race drivers would figure out, I think the life would be a little bit easier here on the racing circuits. Brock Page, Bud Shearer going to be out of pit road first and second. Michael Caffrey will then be right there with them. Mark Rodigan in 76 and 8. Maurice Burnett going to now charge right up in there as well. Man, just absolutely insanity here on the show, folks. Still can't quite figure out where the mindsets are, where the setups are going to be taking place at, where the drivers can really figure out what they're up to and what they're going with. It's hard to really grasp and really just give you guys an idea of what's going down until it just gets further and further in. So what happens next is we're literally on the verge of being halfway done with this race. We have seen a lot of cautions, more than I think these guys are expecting. We've seen chaos ensuing on multiple fronts. We've seen some absolute hard hits and some serious playoff contention points thrown out the window and given away for chances here. Something has got to give right now, but which will it be? The drivers or the track? That's all on them. We're going to bring it back to the starting line. Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series continue on for the GOAT Racing League. Problems for Keith Prince, number 3 out of the gate, slows down to a crawl here. Couldn't get it off the line. They'll bring him down through the turns though. Joseph Gravala watching carefully. Doesn't need to give himself any enemies right now. Knows Aaron Jackson. He'll be going around to 4, and he doesn't need him on his tail or having issues with him. Charles Van Schaik, though, trying to stop that from happening, trying to stay with it as they lead him down through the front straightaway. John Hammond having all sorts of problems down there. The 13 currently getting thrown into the muck and out of the park right now. Currently struggling just to try to hang on. Cody Sturgill deep outside. He's going for broke and going for it all. They're nearly 3 deep in the middle. Chad Coleman with John Hickman Jr. going up against the number 47 of Joseph Gravala here as they are nearly 3 deep in. Coming around the corners though, the 76 Mark Road again, 3 off on the front stretch. Stays out of trouble as the 98 of Christoph Hall kicks at the bottom. Swinging it high, throwing for the fences here. Everybody right now doing what they have to do just to stay in control. Van Schaik right now currently keeping close proximity there to any of the guys that are currently trying to battle out for the top spot here. But the problem is one of them just absolutely just took the race lead away. Aaron Action Jackson now for sure would knock out Charles Van Schaik if he can hang on. He's got a huge lead brewing there. Got it around Bud Scherer there. And now Scherer probably looking at him and probably looking at the rest of this field thinking, what the heck do I got to do to keep myself in this playoff hunt? If Jackson wins this, Scherer will still be in, but he'll be on the bottom end. He'll be actually in the fourth spot because that winner's check here, that winner end there will definitely make a difference, make a bit of a coincide angle for what they're going to have to go through and what they're going to have to fight through at the final round. Michael Caffrey getting out of the way of the 60 of John Hickman Jr. Gets up top side, gets it right back down to the bottom, caving in. Looks like Brock Page not too thrilled with that Pennzoil Australian right now, currently keeping him from working with his teammate. Scherer, though, really at this point just needs to stay out of trouble. He knows he is in a good position to advance in. With 11 points up right now, again, if Charles Van Schaik, with literally 10 points up on Charles Van Schaik, and only about 3 points down from Joseph Gravala, and Gravala here is in the bottom half of this race. He's currently in the top 10 here in the 9th spot, battling with Ron Holyfield in the 26th. Just needs to stay out of trouble and not put himself in any positions he doesn't want to be in. As the striker, Michael Strickland, he's back out there on the lead lap, and it looks like after his frustrations from earlier, it looks like he's not having it with anybody here. Not having it with anybody, not having it with anything else on that track. Sean Burke as well, the 95, after getting caught up in a bit of a mess there between Strickland and Page earlier. Not going to go into the details. You guys can go back and watch the broadcast for you later. What I'm going to tell you, though, is there was some tensions running high on both drivers' end, and both guys not seeing something eye to eye, causing a massive, massive wreck on the front straightaway past turn number 4. Brock Page right now still dealing with Michael Caffrey. Bud Shearer moving into the 3rd spot. John Hickman Jr. and Aaron Jackson. I don't know what the heck came on Aaron Jackson's end, but man, this guy just put on the back burners, put the turbos up, he flipped the switch, pushed the button, and then said, "See ya." And he is literally 6.5+ seconds ahead of the near. Now he's a full 7 seconds ahead of the closest guy to him in terms of playoff contention. Charles Van Schaik right now has got to be rolling over in his head thinking, what do I got to do to get to the round of 4? I cannot keep making mistakes like this. Now, I don't think it's a matter of making mistakes like this. I think it's just a matter of just dealing with the absolute chaotic nature of this race there, my friend. But at the same time, he knows no matter what, it's all in his hands. He's just got to stay focused and really uptake the spots. Caffrey passed by Brock Bays. Now Maurice Burnett looking to try to get around him as well, as nobody has anything for John Hickman Jr. or Aaron Jackson, mainly Jackson here, because Hickman is still a good second back of him and losing more time as we speak. Shearer and Page right now looking to get something worked up together, looking to maybe help each other out a bit. Positioning extremely key here. Caffrey down below on the bottom lane. Looks like he's going to shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars, and let it roll on through to the Mars. Or did they say it was to the bar? It's kind of hard to tell anymore. 10 laps left to go before the stage comes to an end. Back up front now, Joseph Gravala here in the top 10, still in very good condition to make it to the final round. As long as he stays right about where he's at. Same for Strickland. Strickland really didn't even need to really do anything special here. He found himself trapped up earlier on with maybe some heat on his hands. And I don't know how much heat he got from some of the other guys out there, but I guarantee you some of them probably still are not too thrilled about him or Brock Page kind of get into that little mess. Brock Page actually having some problems down there. He's actually in the grass and over the coast. Opened up his own lawn care service, and now he's got a problem. Not totally sure what happened. We didn't have a camera on him. As you see, we were trying to flip through quickly, but we did know we had a little timing situation where it showed us he was in the grass there. Slinging it back down around off the ends of the Caterpillar. Maurice Burnett trying to hold him back. You can just see that overall pace, that overall condensity that Page is right now trying to use on Burnett, as he's got a good run coming off on the inside. Backing it up with his teammate there, Shearer, as Caffrey moves ahead of him. Shearer costs himself some playoff points here if he does not get stage points. If he does not get back around to Caffrey here, and Caffrey, I don't think for 1 second is looking to give anybody any breathing room. Not after taking stage 1 home. He's looking so strong there. And speaking of looking strong right now, Jackson, he's going to be in a good position if he gets passed by Hickman Jr. either way. But points-wise, a win here in Stage 2 would not only seal his deal, but it also would force Charles Van Schaik at that point to have to pretty much almost win it out to take down Jackson. But Hickman Jr.'s got other plans. He's going deep in the inside. Jackson probably not looking to force the scenario, or is he? He got really close there. Side drafts off the 60. Major momentum from Jackson and takes control again. Whoa, and you got to be thinking to yourself, too, how much did Hickman get out of that or appreciate doing that kind of a run there? That's kind of hard to tell. I wouldn't think for 1 second he'd be very appreciative of getting put in that situation, in that scenario. But now he finds himself having to regroup, re-strategize, and re-hit that momentum, hit the loud pedal back down, and hope for the best. Just 4 laps remain in stage number 1, or stage 2, I should say. And don't look now, but coming back from the outhouse, travels to the White House. The striker is back on the attack. Strickland probably thinking in the back of his head, I've not had enough yet. I want to get more out of this day. The striker on the inside, taking a run there on Maurice Burnett as they roll him down to the back straightaway. We're coming up on the final laps here as Shearer right now holds down the line, holds the field in. Strickland trying to hang on. Shearer and Page right now probably just trying to keep a close eye across proximity of what's going down as well with the rest of this field. You can see Strickland's getting extremely good entry and a very strong exit. Shearer has nothing for him. The only thing he can do right now is just keep defending the line with that top 5. I believe top 3 get playoff points, but top 5 right now for Shearer would all but enable him to help stay in control of his own destiny. 2 more laps for Jackson. Got a good lead on Hickman Jr. as Hickman tries to keep up with him. Strickland, you can see this time he backed off as he got around to Shearer there. Didn't want to force an issue on him or himself. Strickland probably knows deep down right now he doesn't have any issues to deal with that's beside him. I think it's more or less what he dealt with that was in front of him. And I think in total that's also what kind of lit the fire to do what he's doing right now. Strickland extremely aggressive, driving onto the bottom lane, shoots for the moon off of Shearer. Shearer is going to need to stay focused for the next part of this race. Stage 2 comes to an end. Aaron Jackson wins stage number 2. And with this win, he now just shot himself above Charles Van Schaik. Schaik and Jackson will now go to war for that final position. The rest of the field seem to be kind of already aware of what's going down and what they'll be at. Ethan Bogart pretty much all but out of it this case, at this point. And Cody Sturgill, really, he's kind of trapped somewhere in the back of that as well, in the 19th position. He's going to look for some help, though, by getting a solid chance at being the fast loser, if you will. While also being the guy that's going to be pretty much on the lucky dog scenario. I don't know why I call him the fastest loser. I think I'm thinking of another sport there. My bad there, folks. Well, big ticket is now. We're going to be down to about roughly about 50 some odd laps left. John Hegman Jr. is going to be staying out here for a little bit longer. Aaron Jackson now going into pit road. As a good chunk of the field right now starts to dictate their strategies in terms of fuel and the tire wear. Fuel mileage is going to be very high on this one, as much as that tire wear has been all day long. Yeah, we saw what Jackson did earlier. It's definitely turned a few heads and definitely gave you a good idea what happens when you get late into a pit stop and how bad these tires actually do wear up on these next gens compared to how they break down in real life with the Goodyears, but that's a different story. Hopefully as well they got that figured out for next year too. I'm hoping deep and downside they finally get something to going with those next gens. Nevertheless though, we're going to start really parking this down in more. We're going to start getting a little bit crazier in. We will double file up once again here, race fans. Playout drivers down and out at this point. Cody Sturgill, Nathan Bogart, they are laps down here. Not getting their lucky dogs, not getting their chance at getting up the spot here. John Hegman Jr., Michael Caffrey, they will be in the march and in the fight. Ron Hollyfield and Michael Strickland. Going to be your two rows there in deep. Then the third row, of course, Joseph Graval and Chad Coleman. Looking to kind of hang in there and really make their own strategies and own performance up. Aaron Jackson at this point, as long as he doesn't give too much time up to Charles Van Schaik, he's now locked himself in. He's got to fight it out with the 23. For Van Schaik, his opportunity lays in one position and one footnote, which is make or break your season. Do you try to go for it all and hang on to the end, or will you find yourself trapped in this race with a whole lot of guys looking to try and knock you off that totem pole? We are about to find out. Here we go, race fans, down off of turn number 4. The final stage now commences. The Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series have got one more stage left. This is their last chance to make it to the final round of 4 for the round of 8 playoff drivers. We'll keep it high in the sky and see what happens from here. We're going to watch them lay down the speeds, rolling through down off of turn number 1 into 2. Gravala already looking to make up some ground from earlier. Maybe try to show a few guys he's there in it to win it. 3 deep down, close the gap off. Closing down to the field here, a little bit of momentum piled over from Bobby Westell and the number 9. Westell wasting little to no time, making up for lost ground he suffered earlier on. And he's looking like he might have something here. Slinging the speed, slinging the track, 3 deep off yet again. Shearer got a hamstrung on that bottom lane there. Mark Rodigan, the 76 though, making a good little move off there in the speeds department for turn 4. Looked like he was able to get that left front to kind of grip down a little bit more and let the right rear kind of swing into the corner best he can, forcing Charles Van Schaik trapped in. That 3 deep off between him and Westell. And some absolute chaos ensuing behind as well. Michael Caffrey jammed in the inside wall. It the Benzoil 7 with problems down there. Not able to hang on. Michael the Striker Strickland is now looking to move the chains. He's been a part of some wild racing moments earlier on. It's going to be interesting if he does get a podium, what his thoughts were about it earlier, but they bring him down through again. They're still 3 deep. Rodigan swinging it back down the bottom. Scherer goes out of it. Doesn't want nothing to do with anybody there. He thinks the momentum is in trouble. And Westell gets clipped by Strickland. The Striker attacks the left rear of Westell. Will he go back on the attack, or was that just merely a mistake? I don't know. Looked like maybe just a slight little issue in communication from the spotters. It's hard to tell anymore what these drivers are thinking, whatever they're even going to go do next. It's impossible to know. Just when you think I've seen it all of a sudden things get kind of thrown back into the pit of oblivion. Oh, and that's what I was talking about. Westell takes a few of the playoff drivers out. Charles Van Schaik has literally slammed the entire left side driver's side door in, and is that going to be the end of his day, I wonder? Strickland getting involved in it too. Aaron Jackson able to avoid the madness and get out of the car and escape free. But for Charles Van Schaik, did that just all but end his playoff chances in this division? We're about to find out in the replay what went wrong here and what went down. Once again, as they were coming right around off turn number 4 to the front straightaway, looked like somebody got kind of clipped in between. Hammond, there it is right there. It gets into Westell. And this time around, Cody Sturgill even gets cleared out of it. Sturgill looked like he got into the wall on the inside of pit road. He did, and oh, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, race fans. Things have just taken a complete 180 here. A couple of angles from that wreck. Look at Sturgill. He just tries to get out of it. Thinks he's clear. Gets clammed in. Car's trying to stop. Actually didn't even hit the wall there. Nice save by Sturgill, but then Schaik. Oh, this is even a worse shot there. Van Schaik, man, he just had nowhere to go. There really was nothing he could do there. Literally at all. One more look at it. Thought he came out clear, then he realized too little, too late. You can see he was on the brakes too. He was trying to get that car to stop, and it just would not come to a stop there. We're going to take one more look at it. This time we're going to look at what caused it in the first place. And I just want to see, did the 13 miscalculate his move, or did the 9 get loose? Right there, Westell did get loose. And Hammond, well, you guys be the judge on that one. I'm going to say I think it's going to be a little bit more of a racing ordeal. And Hammond didn't really have much of a choice. Although some of the drivers may say otherwise. Well, that was your Pete Timmons replay. And yet again, folks, things just taking just chaotic turn after chaotic turn. Some worse than others. And some of them so crazy, not even I can figure out what the heck is going to happen next. AMR Paintworks saying go BRB, yes go. AMR, thanks for coming on board today here, and definitely seems like those guys have been doing an okay deal today in terms of scope and positioning here. So from here, where do we go now? As we're going to be at about 47 laps remaining. Bringing him back down around the house here at Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to get him back to the green. Let's see where we go from here. Oh my gosh! No! 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 Are you kidding me? That was nearly half the field in that wreck. What is going on? What on earth is going on? I don't even know what's happening anymore. Let's take a look at the restart. Trying to see. Oh, two guys didn't even go off the line. Brock Page and Mark Road again. Well, we know who the culprits were. But why was that, though? See if we get another look at it here. Rush Road again, top right. There goes Page, gets off to a bad start. And oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What has this race come to? What literally has this race come to? I mean, I'm not gonna try to discredit any of these guys out here right now. Spinning the tires out on a start is part of the deal in racing. It happens every now and then. You may not think it actually happens, but with just everything else though that has happened today, I think we're literally on, what are we, the 10th caution today? Yeah, 10th caution today. If you take out the two from earlier from the stage breaks, we're literally at 8 out of 167 lap ordeal, and things are just so all out of the control and all over the place, to just put it nicely. It's really just impossible at this point to say or think where this will end, where this will finish out at, what is the end game. And a lot of these guys, I gotta believe at this point, are just trying, and I mean desperately trying, to just find that leg up or that way to kind of get out of this mess and kind of find their way out of the issues they've been thrown or thrust upon, to say the least. So we only have about 40 laps remaining right now. If we can get this off the start, just gonna have to see what goes on from here. There, it all filed in. Once again, have they learned their lessons? Have they figured out how to get their craft down? That's going to be their biggest goal and really opportunity, in my opinion, to show what they're made of. But far beyond anything else, I feel like their ultimate challenge is going to be, without a doubt, how do they handle the chaos and the craziness that ensues here on the show. We're going to branch them off down off turn number 4. Can the field drive the back into the ground here? We're about to find out. Green flag, back on out. But you're not going to get any openings from here at this point. You're going to have to make or break your moves, if at all possible. Joseph Gravala now realizing that too. But sure, the guy that's really right below him in terms of points takes it below him on the inside off turn 1, taking the lead away. John Hammond moving in a second with him. Hammond looking to get a win in this season to finally end his bad luck or to end out his struggles. And he's looking to take on the 83 of Bud Shear right now, trying to hold him back off on the top in the middle. Brackets him down to the corners. Bobby West still in the 9 machine after just really getting taken for a wild ride throughout this day. Still hanging in there in the top 10 bracket. The 77 of Michael Caffrey, same for him. Ron Holyfield as well going out in there a little bit as Bud Shear opens the door up for the 13. John Hammond takes control. Speaking of taking control, watch out. Here comes the 35. The man who won at Pocono last week. Wasting no time up to the front. Chad Coleman is now in pursuit. Nathan Bogart with trouble. He's in the grass coming off the track. He's okay at least, but right now the field in a fever pitch. Looking to try to make their move and make their shot done right. No driver is safe. Nobody is clear of the troubles. Coleman up on the outside. Look at this. Hammond nowhere to go. Gonna try to hold him down. Coleman slight advantage. Hammond though will give him an inside corner crossover. He took it up top, looking to cross him down. Couldn't cross-thread it. Now trying to use the draft for his help. He'll go there. How interesting and how chaotic, to say the least, this has been. With seemingly no ends or no stop to this. Down to the final 37 laps here. Hammond, look at him, still holding it on. Coleman takes it with him. They wreck him off. Coleman slammed to the wall. Hammond gets into another. Gravala jumps ahead. I don't know if this track's got a vendetta on Hammond or Hammond's got a vendetta on this track, but this place has not agreed with Hammond at all. And Hammond has been taking a few cars with him while he fights the track and himself off. So much issue for that 13 today. Oh my word. Chad Coleman literally had the lead locked in there, but unfortunately Hammond drove it up a little too much and then right into him. And now he gets trapped way back in the back with damage on the car, slamming the wall down. Gotta be wondering yourself though, if they catch up to him, will the receipt be taken? Because he knows that was Hammond that got him. Bobby West still moving into the third spot. Meanwhile, right up ahead, Charles Van Schaik. He's literally in a must win scenario. The Wheaties 23 is looking to the inside. Gravala does not need to fight him. Gravala, I would just let him by. I wouldn't try to fight him. Shite gonna go down low. He's looking for the lead. This is his only opportunity to make it to the final round. He needs to win to take down Jackson. Aaron Axton Jackson had gotten stage points on him and it was only a few points down on the cut line. If Shite doesn't win this one at this point, he could be out. And he's right now strapped down hard into the car. They have buckled him in, tightened the belts up even tighter than ever. Gravala is still, though, leading it out with Shite trying to get around him again. This is absolutely an awesome climactic sequence and final battle between these drivers, between these fields. Shite yet again trying to tip it down in, looking for control, looking for the momentum. Bobby Westell also looking in, possibly, but there's trouble. Hammond looks like he may have got out of that one, but Christoph Hall did not. Something going wrong. Down the back straightaway, we'll take a look at the replay. Hammond right there, see, gets loose. Oh my, Jackson even got clipped up there from Hall. And Ivan Van Schaik right now, I got to be a little bit more fuming underneath that collar and underneath that helmet because that literally could have been the last thing that could have cost him anything. You can see Hammond, he was slamming the brakes trying to get the car to take a set. It was loose off of turn number 2. And Christoph Hall really had nowhere to go. Now this field currently trying to look at the overall picture and the overall scenario. What happens next, I wonder? What will happen next? This is going to be an extremely important pit road in. Well, right now this field probably just trying to figure out when and where chaos ensues next or what's going to bring down the house. Nobody has been safe from chaos. No one has been safe from staying out of trouble. And really, can you even think of any other way to really look at it or really see around it? There's no other way to go around or know of it. Nearing the end of the 2-hour marker here. Rolling up on the final laps of this race here. What happens next, I wonder? Bobby Westell now going to be your new leader, and this is kind of turned into the kind of a version of a Coke 600, if you will. But really, at this point, it's kind of an endurance to see who can survive and outlast the other. About to bring it back to the house here after the green flag. Marching right around off the edges here. Bobby Westell in the 90 going right up ahead of John Hedman Jr. as Joseph Gravala currently tries to make things just a little bit more interesting here. Giles Van Schaik having to come off from that great battle he had for the race lead. Now has to try to find a way to work it back in. But now with even a tougher scenario as Bear and Axon Jackson is now right in the top 10 and right behind him almost. Van Schaik knows that if he does not get something going quickly here, he could be in deep trouble. His playoff hopes in very much questionable state. But the rest of the field also questioning what comes next and where they'll go from there. Joseph Gravala down the inside makes a run for it here. Coming around off the corners there. Gravala had the lead for a little bit, but has nowhere to go for the rest. Michael Caffrey, Bud Shearer coming down to the edge here. Ron Holyfield, look out back there. Hold on. Charles Van Schaik getting into trouble now because Aaron Jackson just moved up even further. Thanks to that little hiccup there, that little mistake gave him something there to see. Joseph Gravala right now in the second position. Bud Shearer here right in the back. Charles Van Slyke in the top 5. The guy he's trying to stay ahead of about 4 seconds back as well. Seemingly little to no effort being drawn back or reared out from. No one is safe from the madness ensuing. Aaron Jackson now dealing with Keith Prince in the number 3 here. Prince probably not caring or giving too much of a hoot down there. Just making things a little bit more difficult, to say the least. Major opportunity, major positions here, pushing these drivers to their limits and to their fullest potential. There has just been nothing left out for disregard or disrepair. And right now, let's look back up ahead. Here we go. Mano Imano back for the lead. Gravala, a win here, seals the deal. Van Slyke, he wins it. He's in. Jackson will be out. Pressure is on. Right now, I believe where Van Slyke is, he might have enough to take home that final 4th spot. Gravala, he doesn't need a win here, but this would just secure it. And in my opinion, I think this will do more than just secure it. This is going to send a message to every single driver in that field when they go to the final round of 4 next week. He's looking to do that. But Brock Page, this entire day, may have been more of a nuisance to some than I think than others. And he's looking to try and show he will not quit until he gets that win. He's going to try to take Gravala down as quick as he can, while Charles Van Slyke desperately trying to stay ahead of Aaron Jackson, 7 spots back of him, trying to get into the final round of 4. This is what the playoffs are all about as these drivers go head to head for those final positions. So much on the line and so much up for grabs here. Oh, contact made by Page and Gravala through 3 and 4. They hang on to the line, though, at a top speed of over 180 miles per hour to then about 150, tagging each other like that. Yeah, you best be knowing that's some wild antics down there. Oh, my. Van Slyke watching on, trying to steer clear of the issues. Brock Page right now with the lead. Gravala trying to get back to his door. He probably won't let him off that easily this time. Just absolutely pure, unalterated chaos throughout this race and throughout this day. And to say that things have been any less chaotic could be a complete understatement. Gravala right now currently trying to match up. It's like right about, whoa, trouble, trouble! And Joseph Gravala is a part of it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Brock Page involved in it too, and Gravala could not have that happen. He knows there's so much more on the line, and unfortunately between him and Brock Page, he had to go for broke. Came off too hard in the corner. Page got trapped. Gravala got trapped. And Van Schaik with little to nowhere to go. And Charles Van Schaik now has a golden opportunity just given right back to him. Another look at it. He just drove it in way too deep. It slipped up. He's trapped. See Van Schaik's really going right in there. He can see he was steering it. Page was trying to stay clear of him. But no room for error there. Thankfully, though, for Gravala, it looks like the car didn't have too much damage on it. From the initial impact there, it looks like just the right side may have a slight scrape. And now this is going to set up what could best be described as maybe the most chaotic ending we are ever going to see for this round of 8. The playoff drivers now find themselves in what could be just described as a must-win scenario. My goodness, race fans. Absolutely my goodness. This has been one of the wildest, the craziest, and frankly, maybe most entertaining in maybe all the other ways, maybe good or bad, depending on how you look at it, we have seen from these drivers and these guys in such a long time. Over 2 hours in stint we have been on this call. And in that time, we have seen tempers fly, cars get smacked into the wall, drivers taking some serious licks and some serious nudges, and also some intense, absolutely out of control racing. Charles Van Schaik right now knows he has absolutely everything hinging on this next set of laps. The win would lock him in. Anything less, at this point, unless Jackson goes to the back, Jackson can take the top 4 away from him. And Aaron Jackson is in the 4th spot right now. A win for him, and Van Schaik is out. Michael Strickland, the striker, as kind of a wild card here. Again, he does not really have anything left that he needs to prove. He's already in. But he has a tendency to want to go for the win anyway if he knows he can do it. Joseph Gravala at this point now just needs to stay out of trouble. Avoid any more conflicts. Avoid any more problems. Just stay in your own realm, sir. You've already got the championship 4 locked in if you could just finish it out. Here we go. When we get back to the green flag, it should be 6 laps remaining. Charles Van Schaik, Michael Caffrey, Bud Shearer, Aaron Axton Jackson, and Michael Strickland will be the top 5 entering in to this final set of laps. Van Schaik this season has already had a tumultuous, crazy one as he wheeled and dealed it in the final rounds of the Truck Series playoffs to find himself as the 3rd seed. But this is the one that matters to him most, as all the others do. This is their gold standard championship seasons. This is the one everybody takes in with great pride and effort. What will happen as we bring them back on to the restart zones? We're going to bring it back to the starting zone. 6 laps remain. The number 23 of Charles Van Schaik has got this one locked up if he can finish it out. The round of 4 awaits for 4, but who will it be? We're about to find out. Green is down in Texas for the final restarts. Schaik with a great restart. Shearer right on his tail, but Schaik able to dive it down the bottom quickly. Momentum brewing. The Wheaties 23 getting momentum. He's got a line. Gravaldo, wait a minute. He just does not know when to stop. He goes for the broke. He goes for it all. He gets ahead of Aaron Jackson. Jackson right now might have just felt like he got the knockout. Then underneath him, and Michael Caffrey goes for a wild ride. So does Shearer in the corners. Oh my goodness. And now once again we're going to have to go to a green-white checker restart. Because Texas wants it to be bigger and better than what they've seen. And it's going to get a little bit more wild here. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Bud Shearer came right off of turn number 4. Extremely tight, then loose, and slams into the 77. Shearer just needed to stay out of trouble at this point, and he had been all but okay. But instead he finds himself in a different scenario. And we'll take one more look at it here from the chopper cam here as he kind of went around that corner. Okay, right off, there he goes. So he got loose, tightened up, and then you can see the 60 catches him. He tries to back it down, get out of that quickly there. Nowhere to go. Shearer was able to save it. Caffrey was not so lucky. Everybody else involved in that one. What on earth is going to happen next, I wonder? I don't even know. Charles Van Schaik, ladies and gentlemen, is now 2 laps away from securing a golden opportunity and a chance at making it big here. What would you do to hold on just for a little longer to secure the championship hopes? Chad Coleman, last week's feature winner, now in this fight. Up there with John Hickman Jr. in the 60. Joseph Gravala, Aaron Jackson right in the tail end. Charles Van Schaik in a must-win scenario at this point. If he goes anything less, Jackson can take it. Momentum on their way and on their favor. A green-white checkered now up for grabs. This is all on them. This is their one and only green-white checker. They mess it up, it's game over. Here we go. For the final time. Their last chance and hope up for grabs. The green is out in Texas. Van Schaik immediately on the lap pedal, straight to the gas pedal, trying to get this car to dig in as much as he can, but Chad Coleman is literally marching it down on the inside, now outside. Coleman trying to spoil the party. Schaik can't hold him off. Coleman scoots it ahead, right to the field. Up on the corner front, white flag is out. Did that last green-white checker cost too much for Schaik? Coleman with a huge lead. Jackson though falling behind. Is it enough though? Is it enough? Schaik now falling back even more too. He can't hold it and he can't hang on through 3 to turn 4. Chad Coleman is going to bring the 35 back to victory lane. Back-to-back weeks for him. Charles Van Schaik coming straight sideways across the finish line. Schaik finishes 6th, and I don't think it's going to be enough to make it to the championship. I believe Jackson has now moved into the championship round. Action Jackson finished 9th, but the stage points plus Earlier on, the higher percentage fixed position was what it took and what it ends up being for him. But your race winner in Texas will be the number 35 of Jack Coleman. Joseph Gravala will advance to the final round of 4. Michael Strickland will join him. Bud Shearer, despite all his madness and chaos as well, he'll hang on to make it into the final round despite finishing 13th. That's still, I believe, enough to stay ahead of Shike. And Jackson, I believe, kind of already got him good there too. What a race. What a day and what a race. What absolute insanity did we just witness? I don't even think the fans know. I don't even think we know for sure, honestly. Here's the results. Coleman wins it out. Gravala goes second. Higman Jr. will go third. Westell goes fourth. Hollyfield will take home fifth. Charles Van Schuyck goes sixth. Rodigan seventh, eighth to Strickland. Jackson goes ninth. Scugliono gonna go 10th. That rounds out your top 10. And only thing that remains now, we gotta listen to the drivers. Coming in today, ladies and gentlemen, as your third place finisher today, piloting it down for with John Higman Jr. He's going to be your third place finisher as the Sim 500 Mafia gets another one added to their roster. John Higman Jr. now joins me here as your third place finisher. John, congratulations on a podium today here, sir, and another podium for this Sim 500 team. How big was it to get that final run there and really make a run for it on the top end to get this third place today for the crew?
It was definitely exciting. Uh, I really wanted to. I figured I'd probably be able to get second there, but I got pinned behind the 23 on that restart, and 47 got by me on the outside.
Yeah, I got a bit on the outside. Then things got a little bit more wild as you kind of went along with it. But for you and this team, really, what was kind of the toughest part about having to even get to this final leg of the race as well?
Uh, Mostly just all the runs I had to do where other people got tires and I didn't have tires, and I was just kind of driving with my mirror, making sure I didn't get ran over.
Well, it seemed to have worked out all right and seemed to keep you out of trouble for the most part to the end. You're going to come by third today, Higman. Who do you want to thank for that?
I'd like the guys here at Goat Racing and Sim 500. I'd like to thank you guys at PTM Racing TV and everybody that made it possible for me to do this.
For sure there, John Higman, man. Congratulations on your third today, sir.
Thank you.
John Higman Jr. is going to go away third place out of the field and out of the bunch. Joseph Gravala, though, with this second place finish, he's now but all of assured himself into the final round of 4. Joseph, congratulations on that, and congratulations on second place today, sir. You had to go through a bit of a war zone and back throughout that last stage. What was going through your mind there as you had to deal with some tough competitors there, sir?
Yeah, it was a crazy race. A lot of crashes, avoiding some crazy stuff, some rubbing and all that good stuff. But honestly, just patience, just not let the frustration and emotions get to you. Keep it calm, and you're gonna come out good.
Keep it calm, coming out good out of it as well. And I know you had a lot of guys probably kind of looking at you and probably thinking, really, he has part of that playoffs. But at the same time, they knew you were trying to make it or break it in some cases. But for this team, I mean, really, what is going to be now kind of the big part to end up taking it in the final round to go for the championship next week?
So this is the great momentum into the last race next week at Phoenix. I love Texas, my home track, my official home track. I'm from Texas. We me and the family went up there the first time, and it's a great track. I love it. I love driving it here. So I'm glad to finish good. Just gotta be same thing like every week. Be patient. Don't. It's gonna be a frustrating race probably, and don't let it get to us.
Don't let it get to you indeed, but nevertheless here, we're going to send you on your way to the championship round next week. But for who do you want to thank here at Texas today?
Absolutely. Thanks for family, dad, sister, wife, mother, everybody, all the family watching, the fans, you guys for putting this on the stream for the fans and everybody watching, and of course, Fram Autolite, Fran Filters, Autolite Spark Plugs, they're at AutoZone. You know, all your O'Reilly's, all your local parts stores. They're on the car for one more race here. Hopefully we can get them that championship.
We'll have to see it, dude. Graval, though, congratulations on this second place today here.
Thank you.
Joseph Graval is going to go to the final round of 4, but a guy that plays spoiler tonight takes another one home. Back-to-back weeks in victory lane. Chad Coleman in the 35 will take it to the wire, to the house tonight. Coleman, congratulations on that race win, and you had a lot on your plate. You had a lot of guys looking at you just trying to figure out where you were going to go, what you're going to do next, but boy, did you sure prove all of them what you had in mind when you got off those final 2 turns there, sir.
Yeah, we started off the race playing a little tire strategy and trying to save a set or two. So we ran really long on the first set, so we just kind of rode around back there and try to save a set for the end, and then we got caught in some stuff and got wrecked trying to take the lead, and at the end it kind of just fell in our lap.
Yeah, kind of fell on that lap, kind of really gave yourself some serious headways and some very crazy little scenarios and situations. But for you and this team, I mean, what was one of the biggest things you kind of had to really focus on just to even get to the final ends of this one here?
Really try not to get wrecked again. There was a few guys out there that kind of, lack of a better term, they drove over their head a little bit, but you know, we were lucky. We kind of made our way around some of those people and ended up pretty good. We had to use a reset, but
Well,
that happens from time to time.
it certainly does indeed. But hey, one reset versus a bunch of them tonight still at least gives you a chance to secure it out and take it on home for victory lane. So as you celebrate this one here today, sir, who do you want to thank for all this?
I got to thank Charles and everybody with the Goat Racing League, and thank you for broadcasting. Go back and give it a look, see what all was going on, and that's about it.
Well, it certainly is definitely one to watch for some parts and some serious moments in between. But Coleman, thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on bringing it into victory lane today at Texas.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Chad Coleman, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be our winner here today on PTM Race TV for the second week in a row. And with that, we conclude our showcase for Goat Racing League here in the Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series. Thank you all so much for tuning in, staying with us throughout this 2.5 hour long race. We appreciate you guys for tuning on down. We'll see you next time when the green flies high on PTM Race TV.